the Backyardigans, the fastest drawer in the West. It was a quiet morning in a sleepy western town. Sheriff Pablo and Deputy Uniqua were doing a bit of cleaning. "Tarnation, Sheriff, am I proud to be your deputy," said Deputy Uniqua admiringly as she polished the trophy case. "Folks say you're the fastest drawer in the West." "Aw, shucks, Deputy Uniqua," said the sheriff modestly as he dusted off another plaque. Suddenly, shopkeeper Tyrone hurried in. "Tasha the kid is coming to town," he yelled. "She's coming in on the noon train." "Did you say Tasha the kid?" stammered the sheriff. "Yes, indeed," said shopkeeper Tyrone. "She's a legend." He looked over his shoulder and then whispered, "I know you're the fastest drawer this side of the Rio Grande, Sheriff, but I hear folks say she's the fastest drawer on the other side of the Rio Grande." "Why is she coming here?" asked Deputy Uniqua. "I hear that she's coming to challenge the sheriff to a draw," said Tyrone. "She intends to find out once and for all who really is the fastest drawer in the West." Sheriff Pablo stood up, knocking over his chair. "What'll I do? What'll I do?" he squeaked. "What if she really is faster than me? Sheriff Pablo, then I won't be the fastest any longer, and Sheriff Pablo, I'll have to give up all my trophies and Sheriff Pablo," yelled his deputy. "The thing to do is practice." "You're right," agreed the sheriff. "I'll go and practice." Sheriff Pablo glanced at the big clock over the station house. "It's nearly 10 now," he gulped. "That means I only have 2 hours to practice." He raced away. The townspeople gathered in the town square. "I hope the practicing is going okay," murmured shopkeeper Tyrone. The big clock over the station house ticked away. At last, Austin the barber looked up. "It's nearly noon." Dong! Dong! The clock began to strike. Right on time, the train chugged into the station. Steam puffed and engines huffed. "I surely hope the sheriff has been practicing," whispered Barber Austin, "'cause Tasha the kid's about to get off that there train." Sheriff Pablo stood all alone in the middle of the deserted street. The clock finished striking. The noon train pulled away. When the steam cleared, a lone figure stood facing the sheriff. It was Tasha the kid. "Howdy, Sheriff," she said. "I'm Tasha the kid, and I'm the fastest drawer in the West." "Howdy, kid," said Sheriff Pablo. "I'm Sheriff Pablo, and everyone around these parts knows that I'm the fastest drawer in the West." "Looks like we need to find out who's really the fastest, Sheriff," said Tasha the kid. "Yep," replied Sheriff Pablo. "I reckon so." The two stood back to back as Deputy Uniqua began counting. They marched 10 paces, then turned around to face each other. "Ready?" asked Deputy Uniqua, one finger on her stopwatch. Both of them nodded. The people of the town held their breath. "Tell me what happens," whispered Barber Austin, covering his eyes. "Draw!" Tasha the kid and Sheriff Pablo whipped out their drawing pads and began to draw. The only sound throughout the town was the furious scribbling of their pencils. "Done!" yelled Sheriff Pablo. "Done!" yelled Tasha the kid a second later. For a second there was silence. Then the whole town erupted in cheers. The sheriff was the quicker drawer. "I guess fair is fair," Tasha the kid said to Sheriff Pablo. "I didn't practice enough. You really are the fastest drawer in the West." "Thanks," said the sheriff, holstering his pencil. "But your drawing is really good. You know what? Being a fast drawer isn't such a big deal. Being a good drawer is a mighty fine thing, too." "You're both rootin' tootin' drawers," shouted Barber Austin. "I'll hang both drawings up in my barber shop." Sheriff Pablo's tummy rumbled. "All that drawing's made me hungry," he admitted. "Why don't we go to my house and draw ourselves up a snack?" suggested Tasha the kid. "I have lemonade and crackers." So everyone did just that. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and share, and follow me on Instagram. See you next time.